Alright, so in this video, I wanted to discuss prerequisites that we were talking about for defenses for the shoulder locks. We've kind of covered Americana and Kimura. And one of the things I had mentioned in a previous video is looking at not only the shoulder, the glenohumeral joint, but the scapula and how it relates to those two, the flexibility or the mobility and or the prerequisites of your shoulder. So getting out of those escapes, yeah, the main thing that they're going to probably be attacking is your rotator cuff, your glenohumeral joint, so internal external rotation. But something that could get impacted in that is, or can affect the range of motion of those, is the ability of your scapula to move in relation to the shoulder. So I should be able to elevate, protract, retract, and depress that scapula. There should be movement throughout. And sometimes that I tend to see when people have a lack of ability in internal external rotation, they'll kind of pick up the slack with their scapula. So, and that can lead to like upper back issues, sometimes like a pulled rib or other issues in relation to that. So when talking about these escapes, that's one thing to probably keep an eye on, especially if you feel like you don't have as much range of motion with the scapula. So can you fully reach forward? So this protraction, can you fully retract? A big part of these defenses, or some of the defenses, is being able to like bring the chest forward, but also kind of retract. I'm like bringing my scapula back, taking up the space there. So this posture, this external rotation with the retraction of my scapula. So again, one of the movements that we tend to do with these, the scapula, or in regards to the scapula, is these cars. Much like the full range car for my glenohumeral joint, I was moving through the full range, trying to access every little bit of the shoulder. I'm gonna move through kind of those four movements of the scapula. So like being able to bring my shoulder blades up, forward, down, and back. Noticing I'm kind of keeping my arms there so I don't want to like reach. So bringing up, forward, down, and back. You can kind of play with those movements. Another kind of variation on this would be these capsular cars. So I can look at either this flexion extension plane or this abduction adduction plane, and I can play with those movements. So if I'm like sideways, if I'm going forward, I can kind of play with either protraction or retraction at different planes, protraction, retraction, or elevation, extension. This can be particularly important in like jiu-jitsu, where we're kind of stuck, like say for like an arm bar, in these weird positions that you probably are not going to find yourself in, but I can start getting a little bit more range. So either again, elevation, depression, protraction, retraction at these little sticky points. And I would play with like both sides. And again, that would be this flexion extension plane, but also looking at this adduction, abduction plane. So that kind of look, so I'm coming forward and back, forward and back. So from the side angle, forward and back. So another thing we can kind of do to start working on this space in these areas is just passive stretching. So for protraction, you can kind of hold on to a door. I'm going to use this mobility stick here as a kind of a door frame, just to show you. And basically, if I was standing, I would slowly walk away from the door. So if this is the door frame, I'm just walking away, trying to find a stretch through the back. There's different angles. The trap kind of is this triangular pattern, so depending on where my hand is, I'm going to feel a stretch in a different area of my back. But I want to try to access all the different areas. So stretching from this direction straight ahead would kind of be like middle trap, rhomboids-esque, and I'm kind of just holding. If I hold low, that's kind of gonna get a little bit of the upper, and I can actually turn my head and bring my chin down and kind of start getting into the neck there. If I hold high and I pull away, I'll get a little bit of this lower trap area. That would be working this back, this protraction aspect. For retraction, I like suggest you could do this on the wall too, but another version would be kind of like an all four position. Hand on something, and I'm gonna slowly let my chest come forward. So kind of try to keep the arm locked out. Maybe feeling a stretch through the front, through the back. And just playing with that. Again, you can also play with like different angles. If I'm on a wall, I would kind of be holding, walking forward, bringing my chest closer to the wall. Different aspects of that. Again, we're trying to work this movement of the scapula in these planes, and that'll help get some resilience in there if I'm using this stretch. And especially like for jiu-jitsu, we need some strength in there, not only the mobility, but start working that workspace. If you don't have the space there, you can build the strength there. So trying to get access there by moving and stretching throughout the day.